Hello Imbibers, a very good evening all of you. Children, today we're going to discuss nothing but we're going to solve questions related to fungi and viruses. These two particular topics has been already covered in the previous lecture. So I thought why not just try a few questions related to it. So whatever you have studied, whatever you have gone through, we're going to basically solve questions related to that. Okay, so only two topics I have picked up, which is the fungi of course and the viruses. All the two topics have been already covered, so that is why just keeping it low and precise, we are going to discuss only about the fungi and the viruses. Okay, in the next session we are going to discuss about, of course, we'll continue with the plant kingdom. We are going to discuss about the characteristics of the algae, of course the second topic of the plant kingdom, because I know we have already done the introduction towards the plant kingdom, yet we are going to start on Monday with the new topic, which is the characteristics of the algae at the same timing. So please do register for the class on the Embibe app, and if you have not downloaded the Embibe app, please download the Embibe app from the Google store, sign up using email ID or your phone number and register for the class. So before we start, let me introduce you to myself. I am Anam Khan. I'll be your botany expert and we'll be discussing all the amazing and interesting topic related to botany, of course the plant part of your syllabus. So let's practice some of the questions related to the topic which we have already covered. Okay, I know during all these sessions of the biological classification we have covered everything related to the introduction towards the biological classification, how many 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, 6 kingdom classification has been already discussed in the class, and you know each and every kingdom has its own special features and few of them were discarded initially only due to some drawbacks. Okay, and of course the demerits, and after that we discussed about the kingdom Monera. Good evening Nandini. We discussed about the kingdom Monera, we discussed about the kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, and we have also had this huge discussion about the virus, prions, and of course the lichen. But today we are going to discuss, or of course have this practice session related to viruses and of course the fungi. I know fungi is very conceptual, it is very hard to remember. So by solving questions and just trying to make it easy for you to remember all those concepts which we have already discussed in the class or which you have gone through. Okay, so let's start our session talking about the first practice question, which is yeast. Yeast is included in fungi and not protozoans because you know yeast is of course what? Is the only unicellular fungi, otherwise the fungi is always multicellular. Yeast is of course the what? An exception. So what do you think could be the reason among these that the yeast is not included in protozoans but were kept in fungi? Come on, quickly tell me. I want you to at least attempt the question, try to get the right answer. Even if you couldn't get the right answer, it's absolutely fine children, we are here to practice only. Okay, so please at least try to attempt the right question. The yeast is not included in fungi and it is included in the fungi, not in protozoans. Why? Why? What was the reason? Yes, take your time, take 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, please answer. Yes, what could be the possible answer for this? Chlorophyll is absent, it forms pseudomycelium, cell wall has cellulose, food reserve at starch, it has a eukaryotic organization. What among these could be the right answer? Shazia has given the right answer. Let's see whether the Shazia's answer is right or wrong. The next left, the other children please answer the question. Yes, the yeast, the reason the yeast is included in the fungi but not in the protozoa is because it has the pseudocelium, pseudomycelium. Pseudo means false, mycelium, you know that filamentous like structure which is having this network of hyphae is called mycelium. In the yeast it forms a pseudomycelium which you know is a characteristic of fungi, and protozoans do not show a mycelium like characteristics. So of course it was not kept in protozoans because the fungi has this appearance of a pseudo mycelium. Pseudo means it might appear like a false, but yes, it is almost like a mycelium, and mycelium formation is a characteristic of a fungi. Okay, that is why it forms pseudo mycelium, and that is the reason why we have kept fungi in the, not in protozoa, yeast in the fungi. Clear? Moving forward, children, you know, of course, yeast is included in fungi and not in protozoa because it forms pseudomycelium in which cells cling together in chains, resembles a true mycelia. Okay, that's the reason I have already explained to you. The next question. Synocytic mycelium is a characteristic feature of synocytic. You know what is synocytic mycelium? Yes, I know, I have explained you what is synocytic condition. Aseptate, septate, remember we have discussed about this Synocytic mycelium. What is Synocytic mycelium? Is a characteristic feature of which group of fungi? Yes. Aseptate, there is a no separation. Septate, there is a separation. So, what is Synocytic? Come on, quickly answer. The Synocytic mycelium is a characteristic feature of the Synocytic mycelium is a characteristic feature of what? Children, it's okay if you get the wrong answer, it's absolutely fine. Please at least try to attempt the question. Please try to attempt. Please, you will get to know. If you are not knowing right now, you will get to know after answering only, but just not sit idle. Okay, of course, the Synocytic mycelium is a major characteristic of Phycomycetes. What is a Synocytic mycelium, children? A Synocytic mycelium in which there is no separation, there is no septate present, and all the nucleus are freely floating in the cytoplasm. Okay, that condition of a mycelium is called Synocytic condition. Talking about Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, which are 4 classes of fungi, and Deuteromycetes. Of course, Phycomycetes are found in water, on decaying leaves, in damp places. They have multinucleated, that's why Synocytic aseptate mycelium. It is obvious that if a fungi is having a Synocytic mycelium, this is obvious that mycelium would be aseptate, there will be no division. So, since it is majorly found in the decaying and the damp places, they have this multicellular Synocytic condition. Clear? Next question. A unicellular sac fungus is, yes, I think this kind of a question we have already attended in the class also. What is a unicellular sac fungus is? Unicellular sac-like structure which is present in what? Claviceps, Aspergillus, Saccharomyces, Neurospora. Claviceps, Aspergillus, Saccharomyces, Neurospora. Which among them is a unicellular sac fungi? Yes? Okay, still haven't answered. Come on, children, quickly answer this. Which among them is a unicellular sac fungi? Claviceps, Aspergillus, Saccharomyces or Neurospora? Yes, the answer is of a unicellular sac fungi, children, is that it is Saccharomyces. Unicellular fungi, children, it's already one unicellular fungi which is yeast, which is known as Saccharomyces. Okay, the Claviceps, Aspergillus, Neurospora is not, they are completely multicellular. There is only one exception with the fungi which is unicellular, it is the yeast which is known as the Saccharomyces. Okay, Next question, children. The main component of the fungal cell wall. Yeah, this is so easy. The main component of the fungal. If you don't know this, please, that is something I don't know. What you will know about fungi if you don't know that the main component of fungal cell wall is what? This is absolutely like nothing. This is so easy. Come on, quickly tell me. Yes, the main component of fungal cell wall, children. This is so easy. Please, you have to just answer in microseconds. The main component. Hi Ayush. Please quickly answer. I want everyone to give right answer for this. The main component of fungal cell wall is, children, the main component of fungal cell wall, the unique characteristic of fungi which makes it different from the plants. Yes, not kept in protozoa, not kept in plants, not kept in animals, is because they have chitin, which is a unique feature, unique component present in the cell wall of the fungi. The fungi cell wall is composed of chitin. Clear? This is absolutely easy. Yes? Next question. The fungi are classified mainly on the basis of what? This is also very easy. You know the classification of fungi is based on what? So easy. This is also we have already discussed. Come on, quickly. The classification is based on what? The classification of fungi is mainly based on what? Somatic nature, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, or none of the above. Ayush, which classes are less? Is this your first class? Come on, answer this. Yes? Ayush will try to increase classes. Just give us some time. Apart, we are having these classes daily. Okay. 11th and 12th has to be regular. So, we are teaching 11th and 12th both, keeping the equal amount of both the subjects, both the classes. So, fungi are classified mainly on the basis of, this has to be very easy, children, on the basis of sexual reproduction. So, the reasons. Okay, which chapter is going on in your class? Which chapter is going on in your class? I think once I asked only this question, that which chapter is going on in your class before starting with the what? Before starting the plant kingdom, I asked that which chapter is going on in your class and we'll start with that chapter only. But you guys said that it's going to be plant kingdom. So, I started with the plant kingdom. Where you are in your school? So, children, the basis of sexual reproduction, the fungi is being divided. Only the Deuteromycetes is called the fungi imperfecti because it does not show the sexual reproduction. So, on the basis of sexual reproduction, fungi are being classified into 4. Next question is, which pair belong to Basidiomycetes? Puffball, claviceps, bird nest fungi and puffballs, Morchella, mushrooms, Peziza and stinghorns. What do you think belongs to Basidiomycetes? Which among them belong to Basidiomycetes? We have also discussed the characteristics of Basidiomycetes. Which among them belong to Basidiomycetes? Everyone. So, children watching on the YouTube, you can join us on the Embibe app and you can directly attempt questions. Yes, you can directly attempt questions. You can basically just download the app, sign up with your phone number or email ID, log in, click on the Embibe live classes, and when you enter into Embibe classes, when you subscribe or when you register for the class, you can attempt these questions directly over there, okay, on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, whatever you are using. Okay, so children, the pair which belong to Basidiomycetes is the bird nest fungi and the puffballs. So Basidiomycetes are what? These are filamentous fungi composed of hyphae, reproducing sexually by the formation of specialized club shaped end called basidia, that is normally bear external mesiospore, usually 4. Okay, out of options, bird nest fungi and puffball belongs to Basidiomycetes. The bird nest fungi are interesting mushrooms that look like small nest containing multiple tiny egg. This is not exactly a bird nest, but it is a kind of a mushroom which is actually appearing like a bird nest, which have few eggs also, tiny multiple eggs. So the puffballs, the deadliest, this is so easy, the deadliest mushroom. Which among these are the deadliest mushroom? You still haven't told me which chapter is going on in your class. The deadliest mushroom among the Pleurotus, Amanita, Volverella, Agricus. Deadliest means it can basically poisonous, of course. If you eat it, we can die. Yes, this is the deadliest mushroom. Come on, at least try this. The deadliest mushroom. Yes, waiting for the answers. This has to be easy. Children, the deadliest mushroom is Amanita. Amanita is extremely poisonous. It contains about 600 species, including more toxic known as mushroom forms worldwide, as well as some of them are very edible species. Yes, Amanita is the deadliest fungi known. Okay. Moving forward, the sexual reproduction is not found. Yes, this is also easy. Just now we have discussed about this. Yes, that sexual reproduction is not found in among which? Among these 4, sexual reproduction is not. Thus now we have discussed that the basic of the classification in the fungi is the sexual reproduction. So among these 4, which of them is not found in the sexual reproduction, or which of these does not possess the sexual reproduction method of reproducing? Yes, quickly answer. This has to be very easy. Yes. Still waiting for the answer. The sexual reproduction is absent in Deuteromycetes, and that is the reason that Deuteromycetes is being called as fungi imperfecti. The reason the Deuteromycetes are called fungi imperfecti is because there is an absence of sexual reproduction. Yes, so answer would be the Deuteromycetes. Next, mycobiont and phycobiont are found in this. So easy. This is so easy, children. Mycobiont and phycobiont having this symbiotic relationship, if you remember. Among these 4, which is a mycobiont or phycobiont relationship? Come on, quickly tell me. Mycobiont and phycobiont are found in so easy, children. It is found in the Lichen has this symbiotic relationship with the fungal component is known as what? Mycobiont, and the algae is known as phycobiont. Both are living together. They're basically having this symbiotic relationship, and that is what you call as lichen. Okay. Next question. An association between roots or higher plants and fungi is called as, yes, this is also very easy, an association of fungi with the roots of higher plants. What do you think would be the association, the roots with the higher plants? The association between roots of higher plants and fungi. Yes, association between roots of higher plants and the fungi, children. Come on, quickly answer. This is also very easy. This is also we have discussed. Children, on Monday we are going to discuss about the characteristic of algae. Okay, so please do register yourself for the class. We are going to discuss in detail about the characteristic of algae and of course the different type of classes, the types existing in the algae. Okay. Chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, everything will be discussed. Their characteristics also will be discussed. So do not miss that session. So please answer this. An association between the roots of higher plants and the fungi is called mycorrhiza. This is also very important. We know that the association of fungi with the higher plants roots is called mycorrhiza. Okay, this is also very common. The next question. Formation of zygote takes place in which phase of sexual reproduction in the life cycle of fungi? What do you think? You know these are the basic phases of a sexual reproduction, the fertilization, embryo formation, zygote formation, XYZ, whatever the phases are there, nucleus fusion. What do you think the zygote formation is taking place through what? What is responsible for the formation of, which phase is responsible for the formation of zygote? This has to be very easy, children. Quickly answer. Fast answer. We have a lot of questions to discuss. Okay, we are still on 11th. Yes, quickly answer so that we move fast. We discuss all the questions we have right now. Okay, I just don't want to do the less practice questions. So, the formation of zygote in which phase of the life cycle? Yes, children, karyogamy, there will be the fusion of nucleus. Yes, myceliums, they will fuse, they will create a karyogamy. The fusion will be done, that will lead to the formation of zygote. The sexual and asexual phases are observed in the life cycle of fungi. The sexual phase contains many stages. These are germination, meiosis, karyogamy, plasmogamy. The formation of zygote takes place in the karyogamic phase. Please remember, if you don't know, that karyogamy is the phase where the zygote formation takes place in the phase, sexual phase of the fungi. Next question. Sexual spores are called ascospores in which? Ascospores are the sexual spores among which? Agaricus, Astilago, Claviceps, Mucor. Sexual spores are called ascospore among them. Which among them is producing the ascospores? Which among them is producing the ascospores? Yes. The practice session is to practice a lot of questions. If you are going to answer slowly, how are we going to solve so many questions? So quickly answer, children, so that we can speed up the whole question answering process. These are short questions only. You should know the sexual spores are called ascospores in Yes. The sexual spores are called ascospores in claviceps. Purpura is, of course, the claviceps purpura is producing the ascospores, which is fruiting body, which is known as ascospores. Okay, ascospores are the spores produces in the sexual reproduction in the fungi belonging to Ascomycetes. The claviceps purpura belong to the Ascomycetes and they have fruiting body called ascospores, which produces sexually reproducing spores. Next question. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic in, very simple. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic in Ulothrix, albugo, bryophytes, pteridophytes. Which among them has a heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Which among them has an heterotrophic nutrition? Yes, quickly. The heterotrophic mode of nutrition is a characteristic of a fungi, and among them the albugo is a fungi which basically undergo the process of heterotrophic nutrition. Albugo belong to kingdom fungi. It is a parasitic fungus, and in mustard it belongs to class Phycomycetes. These are saprophytic heterotrophs. Okay, bryophytes, pteridophyte, Ulothrix all belong to kingdom Plantae, which are absolutely autotrophs. Next question. The edible part of the mushroom is, edible part means something which can be consumed simply. What do you think among these four the edible part is? Yes, basidiocarp, fungal hyphae, primary mycelium, basidiophore. Which among them is the edible part? Yes, children. Which among them is edible? Yes, still two haven't answered. Fungal hyphae, basidiocarp, basidiospore, primary mycelium. The edible part is the basidiocarp is edible because mushroom is an edible fungus belong to the Basidiomycetes. Absolutely easy. Next, one of the major components of cell wall in most of the fungus is, one of the major components, this is like just now we have basically solved this kind of a question only. One of the major components of cell wall among the fungus, the major component, children? Yes, absolutely easy. It's the chitin. Nothing to be thought of right now. Fungi are divided into four classes on the basis of morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation, fruiting bodies, or all of the above. Not a general question which we have solved, but more precise, that which is the basis of the classification in fungi. Come on, quickly answer. Morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation, fruiting body. This is also very easy. Just now we have discussed everything. We have been discussing, practicing all the questions related to it. Yes, children? The fungi are divided into four classes on the basis of all of the above: the morphology of the mycelium, the mode of formation, spore formation, fruiting bodies, all of the above. Next question. The bread mold is, this is also easy, just we have all time discussed in the fungi about this also, the bread mold. Please solve this. The bread mold is, Yes, the bread mold is the rhizopus. The bread mold is the rhizopus. You know, when we kept the bread for so long, even it's in the fridge or outside the fridge, on the fridge, it will catch fungus, and the fungus which is present on the bread is called rhizopus. Yes, next question. I think this is what we have already saw. Let's not attempt this. Next question, children. As per the Whittaker classification, an organism possessing eukaryotic cell structure, multicellular organization, nuclear membrane, heterotrophic mode of nutrition can be placed under which kingdom? As per the Whittaker classification, organism possessing such things are kept under which? This is also very easy. It is kept under the fungi, because fungi have eukaryotic cell structure. They are eukaryotic. They possess cell wall, they have cell membrane, the nuclear membrane, sorry. They are heterotrophic mode of nutrition and placed under the kingdom fungi. Yes, the next question. The yeast are the example of unicellular. Again and again we have been discussing about the yeast. The yeast are the examples of unicellular. Yeast are the example of unicellular. The yeast are the example of unicellular fungi. This is also absolutely easy. Next question. Asexual reproduction in Ascomycetes fungi takes place by which among them is responsible for the asexual reproduction in Ascomycetes? Which among these are responsible for the asexual reproduction in Ascomycetes? Also very easy. Just remember what we have discussed. Asexual method of reproduction. There is a sexual method of reproduction and there is also an asexual method of reproduction. Yes, it is the exospore formation. Exospore, which is basically formation on the growing on the dung decomposers for members of Ascomycetes. Their mycelia are branched and septate. Asexual reproduction in Ascomycetes takes place through the formation of conidia through the conidiospores, and these are non-motile exogenous formation of the spores. Next question. Meiosis occur in yeast in which among them the meiosis will occur? Meiosis, which is a reductional division, lead to the formation of haploid spores, will be taking place among which? Yes, meiosis is occurring among them ascospore, ascus mother cells, ascus, none of the above. This is also very easy. Yes, the meiosis occurs in yeast in the of course, the correct answer is the ascus. So, ascus is there where the meiosis will take place to the formation of ascospores. Okay, next question. Viruses was, now we are switching to the viruses, children. We have done with the fungi question practicing of those questions, switching on the other topic, which is the viruses. Of course, the viruses was first crystallized by Berging, Stanley, Ivansky, Leeuwenhoek, who crystallized the viruses. Also important, just few days back only we have discussed about it. Yes, it was Stanley who basically crystallized the viruses first, because there was a single stranded RNA infecting the tobacco plant, which is known as tobacco mosaic viruses, was first basically crystallized by the Stanley. Next question. Viroids and viruses are different from each other. How viruses and viroids are different from each other? How viroids and viruses are, this is also we have discussed during the session, that what is the major feature of viroids and viruses, how they are different from each other. The viroids are different from the viruses in having yes, they have RNA molecule without the protein coat. The viroids are single stranded circular RNA which are infectious in nature. Unlike viruses, they do not have a protein coat. Which one has a coiled RNA strand and capsomeres? Which among them has a coiled RNA strand and capsomeres? Poliovirus, retrovirus, tobacco mosaic virus, measles. Which among them has a coiled RNA and capsomeres? Yes? Quickly answer, children. Tobacco mosaic virus was the first virus is crystallized. It has a capsomeres and a coiled RNA. We have already discussed about the structure of that tobacco mosaic virus in our session. Next, viruses can be considered living. They are considered living since viruses are the exception of the cell theory. And why they are the exception of the cell theory, children? Because they have respiration, they respond to touch, they reproduce inside host or can cause diseases. Come on, quickly answer. The reason viruses are considered living is because they reproduce inside the host body. Outside the host body they are non-living, but as soon as they get the host body, they start the multiplication. So, viruses differ from the bacterium in having. Why? What is the unique feature does the viruses have which is not a feature of bacteria? Why they are different from each other? Viruses differ from bacteria in having viruses differ from bacterium in having cytosol. DNA is a genetic material, cell wall, DNA, RNA with ribosome. Children, the viruses differs from the bacteria in having DNA, RNA with no ribosomes. Okay. Next questions. The virus's envelope is known as, what does the virus envelope is known as? A virion, nucleoprotein, core or a capsid? A virus's envelope is known as what? A virion, nucleoprotein, core or a capsid? Yes, it is known as a capsid because the envelope, the coating is of the capsomeres, okay, the outermost layer. Next, viruses are non-cellular organisms but replicate themselves once they infect the host cell. To which of the following kingdom the viruses belong to? We have what, where we have kept the viruses? Under which kingdom we have kept the viruses? Monera, Protista, fungi, among which we have kept the yes, children, they belong to the none of the above. They are kept differently, they are not a part of this classification. Next, SARS is known as SARS. SARS is what? You know, there was a whole pandemic occurred because of this. What is SARS? Caused by coronavirus, caused by pneumococcus, caused acute asthma, most common in non-vegetarians. Yes? Quickly tell me, the SARS caused by coronavirus or what? Yes, it is caused by the coronavirus, which is basically affecting your respiratory system, severe acute respiratory syndrome. It is caused by the coronavirus called as SARS. Next, genetic material of a retrovirus is, what do you think would be the genetic material of the retrovirus? The genetic material of the retrovirus, yes, the genetic material of the retrovirus could be DNA, RNA, DNA could be, it's only RNA. Retrovirus have a genetic material as in RNA. Yes, viruses are non-cellular organisms but replicate themselves when they infect. I think we have already done this, so just skip it. And there we are ending to this chapter. Children, we have practiced good number of questions related to the viruses and of course the fungi. We are going to discuss another chapter, start with the characteristics of fungi in the next session. So please do register yourself for the class. How to register, I'll explain you. This is your Embibe app. As you can see, you can download through the app store. Children, what you have to do, you have to just select, this is a 10 CBSE, this is not your class, you have to select your exam, it is CBSE. You can select 11th standard, and as you select your respective language, you will land on this page. And as you press the home button, children, there will be a section called Embibe Live Classes. All the classes are being conducted over here, and this is me right now taking your class. Next session would be about the characteristic of fungi. As you click on this session, there's a registered, unregistered. It means what you have to do, you have to just register now. So you can register for the class, check out the pre and post class activity. Okay? And children, you can explore this app, you can learn through this app, you can practice through this app, you can also have a test, you can see how much you have achieved. So just please download this app and explore it yourself. We will meet again, but before that, you know, there's another Embibe Lens app. What you have to do, you just download it, scan your textbook. It will highlight all the keywords and display everything in 3D. So please have this amazing experience of the Embibe Lens app. We will meet again with the characteristics of algae. Do register yourself for the class. Until then, keep imbibing. Bye bye. Take care.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.